So some of you might have noticed that things have been looking a bit different on the channel the last couple of videos, and that's because I've made a substantial investment and upgrade for you lot. So let's take a look at what I've done. So obviously this isn't going to be a living history video, this is just going to be me giving you an update on an upgrade I've made for you guys. So let's swap back onto the old ZV-1 here, and this is the camera that you've been watching me on for the last, well, God knows how long now. So let's pop you back on this so I can show you what I've got. So folks, we're back on the little Sony ZV-1, the camera that you're used to. This should look more appropriate to what you're used to seeing on the channel. But what I have here in my hands is our new favourite camera. This is a Sony a6700 APS-C camera, and this is a horrendously massive upgrade to what you're looking at me on there now. Now the little ZV-1 has done us very well. It's done us so well in fact that I actually have two of them. But I just thought it was time for an upgrade because I wanted to get some better quality footage for you guys. Not really for in the studio here, because this is plenty good enough for in the studio, but for more when I go to events. And what sparked this off was basically I went to Tankfest last year and I got loads of footage, which I still haven't used most of to show you guys. But when I was there I just realised that the little Sony ZV-1, as excellent as this camera is, and it really does punch above its weight, it's just not good enough when you're trying to take nice video of stuff a long way away. So the tanks were going around the arena and I just couldn't see the stuff that was going on apart from when they were right close to me, because it's got a nice little zoom on it but nothing exceptional. Whereas this camera, as well as being more advanced and having a lot more features, obviously can have tons of different lenses on it. So I did a load of research to see what I thought would be best for getting the sort of footage I wanted for you guys, so I can go to places like Tankfest and get really nice images of the tanks when they're a long way in the distance. And when I go to air shows and stuff like that, I can record the aircraft and stuff, which the little camera just wasn't good enough for. So I picked up the a6700. As you can see there, I've made some modifications to it. I've fitted a cage on it because I have terrible coordination and shakes and I don't want to drop a really expensive camera and have it smashed to bits. So I fitted a little cage on it. Got myself a strap to secure it to my hand, and I bought a quick detach wrist strap as well just to really steady it up, because I just shake like hell, but I didn't want to get the worst footage ever, so I thought I'd secure it to myself fairly well for you guys. And I got it with the little kit lens, which you can get without the kit lens for less, but I actually managed to get it with the kit lens for less than what you buy just the body, because I got very lucky when I bought this. So I got it with a little kit lens. But I didn't just buy the camera, so I'm going to swap out to this with its kit lens now and show you what else I got. So here we are, we're back on the new camera with its little kit lens, which should already be a visible upgrade to you, I hope anyway, otherwise I've probably wasted a lot of money. So this little kit lens I probably won't be using that much, but it's actually not too bad as a little studio lens. Problem is it's not very good in low light, and I'm indoors, which is inherently low light. Anyway, beside the point, apart from the fact that because it's a power zoom, I can zoom you in way closer to my face than you ever want to be remotely. It's just a fun little lens. But anyway, beside the point. All I wanted to do in this video really was show you the camera and the upgrade, and just show you the bits that I've got to go with it so that I can go to places in the future and get you much better footage. So I've got a few lenses here that I got with it, all for particular reasons. Got a little Sigma here. This is basically going to become the new studio lens, and that's the one that you've been seeing in, well, in the last video I certainly used this one. It's a nice little lens, really light. That's got a little bit of a zoom in it, so you can see my disgusting face in much more detail if I want to put you through such things. Then I bought a very wide angle lens. This is for when we're out at events. This will basically be the vlogging lens. So if you've got the camera, you're doing it at the old arm's length. This is the lens for that. It's not going to make my face literally consume the entire monitor, which no one wants. You'll be able to see all the stuff around us. So when I'm doing stuff like the Ipswich show, for example, if I do that this year, this will be the little lens that I fit whilst I'm wandering around and showing you all the displays. The next one we got is another pretty wide angle lens, but not quite as wide as this one. This one is made specifically for really low light stuff really. That's an f1.4 for those of you who are into camera stuff, which is probably none of you, and you're all bored already. But I got this lens so that if I'm doing anything in, say, inside buildings, this is particularly good, very, very good. So if I do anything at a museum and I want to do a walk around inside a museum, then this lens is what I'd use for that, because it's wide angle still, but also very good in low light. So that'll just go for that. But also because I want to do photography stuff, because I've got into doing this channel's basically got me into cameras and wanting to learn some stuff, and I want to learn some more photography stuff. And this is the sort of lens that you can use really well when you go out at night and you want to take pictures in a dark town or stuff like that. Before I run on anymore, I'm just going to swap you out to the new studio lens, as it were, so you can see if there's a difference at all. All right, so we're back on the little Sigma with a bit of zoom, so I can be a bit more personal with you, because everyone wants to see this in 4K zoomed in, I'm sure. Anyway, 2 more little lenses to go. This one here is a zoom lens, a very small zoom lens, but with quite a good reach. So I thought I'd pick this up because it was dirt cheap, and it's not a bad little lens, not as good as the other ones, but I just thought it's tiny and it's light, and if I want to go somewhere and just throw the camera in the bag with just, say, the little vloggy lens on it, but in case I need to get a bit of range to get some pictures of some vehicles or something for you, I can chuck this in the bag, and it doesn't really matter if it gets damaged or anything. It's because it's not very expensive, and that just gives me the option without carting around a massive lens, which may well not get used at, say, at just a day event or something like that. Anyway, I'm rambling, so let's move on. So that brings us to the last lens that I want to show you, and this is really the answer, and why I bought the camera in the first place was all for having this sort of option. So here we've got a lovely big telephoto lens. This one is basically what will be mounted on the camera on a tripod when we go to places like Tank Fest, or say we go at the Victory Show and we want to get some aircraft taken off and stuff, sorry. You're going to be having this lens, and that is still not huge because it's only an APS-C camera, but this has got basically the longest range that I could get for you guys without spending thousands and thousands of pounds on a lens. So this is a much higher quality lens than the dinky little one here. So basically, I just wanted to share that I've invested quite a lot to try and capture some really nice footage for you guys. Not just for that, because I want to do pictures and stuff as well, and I'm actually going to start a second channel just for camera stuff, because I have no doubt that most of you aren't remotely interested in this. You just want to see some planes and some trucks and some reenactors and displays, and you couldn't give a shit what I actually recorded on. But I thought I'd make a quick video for the few of you that are interested. And whilst we're talking about these things, I've also invested in some proper video editing software. I've been using something called DaVinci Resolve for a while now, which is really good, but it cripples footage like what this can put out. It wouldn't be the highest end, and I've actually forgot to change the settings now I think about this, so that won't be in the highest quality anyway for this video. Anyway, the paid version can let this camera really maximise what it can do, which helps me if I'm trying to get videos of stuff and nicer colours and all sorts of stuff, and it runs faster on the computer. And I just thought there's no point spending all this money on something like this, getting all this stuff to use with it, and then having it crippled by an editor. So I just thought, screw it, I'll pay for the editor. One day it might pay for itself, you never know, but at the moment I'm certainly not making any money out of this. So we've got lovely camera, lovely selection of lenses, so hopefully this year will be really good for the channel, and I can get some really nice footage, learn tons of stuff, can do things on the editor that I couldn't do before, all sorts of fancy things that I've enjoyed learning, and just, you know, try and bring it up a notch. Not that I know most of you aren't bothered by this sort of thing, and that's just a little detail, but I'm enjoying it as a hobby, so I thought I might as well just do it. And then I've got something that I can also use to learn photography and do all sorts of stuff. And the last thing I want to show you is the rig that I've set up to do the top-down footage that some of you may have noticed me sprinkling in the last few videos whilst I set it up and trying to get it right. And that's what this little ZV-1 will be used for now, because I've stripped all the body and everything off this one, so that can just be up here. So let me move the camera and I'll show you what I've got set up. All right, so now we've got the camera with that wide-angle lens on, so I can show you the sort of stuff I was on about. So with this on, and with the stabilisation of this camera, I should be able to just happily walk around like this and it not be too jittery or crap. And you can see behind me, especially if I move out like that, there's plenty of angle whilst I'm at full extension here. You can see what's going on. So it shows this should be really good. And I can even pull it in for a bit more chin action. So we're all happy with that, I think. So hopefully this is coming out all right and not too jittery. So you can see we've got the studio, the bit that you don't normally see. I say studio, we mean World War II equipment dump ground. Anyway, we're off topic. Let me show you what I was talking about. So if we spin the camera around, up here, you can see my rather bodgy top-down rig. I have some problems. So I basically got this clamp arm, and that goes all the way out, but that's off-centre to my monitor and my tripod, which is a bit of a pain in the arse. These holes are already drilled in the roof for the light that I used to have up there, but they're off centre and you can't move it over because there's nothing to screw them into, and that'll end up just falling down. So I've put the arm up, used a couple of these old stowage straps from the Jeep because I've got hundreds of them to just give it a bit of support. And then at the other end is where it gets really bodgy. We've got a clamp here of a GoPro mount, which I use to put lights and stuff on, and that offers a bit of counterweight. And then we've just basically got a little extender there, and that goes onto one of these little arms with a ball head, which has got another ball head clamped into it, and then the little CV1 up there. And that points directly at where the lens is here. So you can see that's almost aligned with the monitor. And that's about as good as it's going to get, basically. So now I can have this camera on the tripod and do that for showing you equipment and stuff like that. Okay, so I just wanted to show you the investment that I've made, and hopefully you like it, and hopefully that's going to give us some real flexibility this year now coming up and in the future. I mean, for example, now I'm just sat with the camera in my hand on the desk. We can do whatever. So even at home, I've got some more flexibility. I can put this on a little tripod anywhere in here with the new options from all the lenses, and just try and make the content a bit more interested than double-chinned fat guy sits in front of a monitor and rambles on about a bit of webbing. And at events, that'll definitely be better because we've got all these zooms that we should hopefully be able to do some really nice stuff with as I learn to use the stuff more as well, and the editing software. So I'm really quite happy with this camera. It's brilliant as far as I'm concerned. Hopefully I don't look too offensive in 4K, but we'll soon see. So I think that's about it for this video. I don't want to bore you any longer, and I know a lot of you aren't remotely interested in this, but some of you will like to see what's going on. And I've also just realised that I'm not looking at the lens for half of this, but never mind. Anyway, normal content will resume shortly. Just wanted to put this out quickly for you. So thanks for watching, thanks for the support, and hopefully this year we can really upgrade the footage for you.